Did you know that the most successful people in the world, the ones who seem to have it all, are often more unhappy in their daily moments than you are? It's true, because they have mastered the art of delayed gratification, which is just a sterile term for a daily, silent war. A war between the person they are and the person they are becoming. This is the brutal, beautiful truth about discipline. It is not about punishment. It is not about rigid schedules. It is the quiet, relentless act of choosing, over and over again, what you want most, over what you want now. And in that space between the now and the most is where your entire life is decided. I used to think discipline was a force you applied, like a brake, something that stopped you from having fun, from feeling pleasure, from being spontaneous. I saw it as a wall, and I was always trying to climb over it or find a door. I wanted the result, the most. But I was in love with the now. The now is so loud. It's the comfortable bed when the alarm screams. It's the scroll through a glowing screen instead of the pages of a book. It's the sharp, sweet taste of a word spoken in anger, the temporary relief of spending what you should save. Now is a siren song, and it sings directly to the weakest part of you. And for years I swam toward that rock. I shattered myself on it. I built my identity on the shifting sand of immediate wants. I was the person who started things. I was the person with potential. And I was deeply, profoundly exhausted from the hollowness that follows every surrendered now. The exhaustion is the key. You don't change because you see a motivational poster. You change because the pain of staying the same, of being a traitor to your own deepest desires, finally becomes louder than the seductive whisper of the now. For me, it wasn't a crash. It was a slow, suffocating silence. A realization that I was building a life out of later, while auctioning off my days. One now at a time. I was renting my identity to my weakest impulses. And one morning, in the quiet after another defeated intention, I saw it with terrible clarity. There was no grand tragedy to blame. There was only the long, patient accumulation of small surrenders. The universe doesn't test you with a giant boulder. It wears you down with a million grains of sand. And I was buried. But in that buried place, a strange thing happened. When you have nothing left to lose but the false version of yourself, a single, simple question can emerge. It is not a shout. It is the faintest heartbeat of an idea. What if you made not 100 changes, not 10, but one? One irreversible change. Not to your routine, but to your identity. What if you became, in your own silent understanding, the kind of person who keeps the promise they make to themselves? Just one. Not the person who works out every day, but the person who, when they say they will run at dawn, runs at dawn. That first one change is not about the action. It is about the covenant. It is the moment you stop negotiating with the now. You do the thing not because you feel like it, but because you said you would. And in that kept promise, a new person is whispered into existence. Brick by silent brick. That is the alchemy. You suffer the small death of the immediate want, not with drama, but with the quiet closing of a door. You wait, not with the weakness of hoping, but with the strength of knowing. The most you want, that feeling of integrity, that mastery, that life, does not appear like a miracle. It materializes. It coalesces around that new, firmer version of you that was built in the dark, in the cold, in the alone moments when you chose the future over the present. The rebirth is not a fantasy of a new you. It is the slow, undeniable reality of the you that kept showing up for the most, even when the now wept and screamed and tempted. It is the accumulation of 1,000 tiny loyalties to your own soul. So if you are in the war, if you are buried in the sand of your own surrendered nows, I am not here to motivate you. I am here to whisper from the other side of a choice. Most is real. Why? It is built, not found. Start with one change, one covenant. Let it be small, but let it be absolute. Let it be the line in the sand where the old you stops and the new you begins. Not tomorrow, not next Monday. In the very next moment, the now asks for a ransom. Say no. Pay instead the price for your most. That price is paid in the currency of no's. And with every payment, you are not losing time. You are building a life. You are building yourself. Keep going. Keep building. Your almost is waiting. And it looks exactly like the person you become on the quiet, disciplined road to reaching it.